welcome back to Starbase, Texas. This is, of course, where SpaceX is building their Starship vehicles. This is part one of two parts. In part one, we're going to take you around the factory, see what's new, see the ships, see the boosters, see Starfactory from the inside for the first time, and just learn a lot along the way. So stay tuned for part two, where we'll take you out to the launch pad, and we'll also follow up with Elon after the launch and see how it went. So without further ado, let's go on and stuff. When 8 was darn close to landing, 9 was almost a reversion feeling, 10 was better, 11 was worse. Like there's a little bit of a ping pong as things were kind of being tried and tested, and you're still kind of in that phase, even at this scale. I just don't think people are used to that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those like early tests were also just about us learning how to work with stainless steel as the primary structural element. Yeah, and working with liquid methane and with a full flow stage combustion engine as the engine. So a lot of what people saw was that the flight, you know, did it land or not land, but we were just trying to figure out how do we work with steel, and how do we work with a methane as a fuel, and
a new engine architecture,
and a totally new engine architecture,
and new flaps, like things that are just
and do the flaps
new and novel.
Yeah, you have to actuate the flaps. You need very powerful actuators for the flaps because there are a lot of force. It's like an airplane moving its wings. Right. So these are very powerful actuators that are needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, and all of the engine to vehicle interactions are very complicated. Yeah. So you don't really see those on the test stand. When you're firing the engines on the test stand, you don't get the engine to vehicle interactions. And then you got different engine to vehicle interactions in flight than you do on the ground.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when you're changing orientation of a vehicle and different G forces and like zero G. I mean, all the things.
There's no test stand that can test a rocket at 17,000 miles an hour doing 6 Gs in every different orientation.
Right, exactly.
It's not possible.
Yep.
So
you have to fly it.
Yeah, you do as much as you can on the ground, then you got to fly it. Try to figure things out in simulation, but a lot of things are not going to be included in the simulation, so it'll work in some, but not in reality.
Exactly. It's crazy. Shall we keep moving?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I don't like it. We're just about to de-rig from the crane and then be able to cross the area.
Jeez. Wow.
As you can see, the Raptor is a lot cleaner than it used to be. It looks like there's less stuff, but
yeah, already.
Yeah.
But these are still not like we're not to V3 here yet, right?
No.
Is the V3 the same thing as like the LEAT engine? Are those?
Sort of. The LEAT engine was, I think we will do that at some point, but that's really a total tear up.
Really?
Yeah. It looks like the LEAT engine, but it's way more expensive because it still has printed parts, for example.
Yeah.
So, but the next gen Raptor engine needs no heat shield.
Right.
So, and because it's exposed, it has to have cooling. So there's integral cooling circuits throughout all the parts. So it looks very simple on the outside, but it's complicated on the inside.
Like even all throughout the pre-burner and the gas manifolds and everything,
all that stuff you see stuck on the side disappears.
Wow. And that's actually that's being worked on now already. That's already.
Yeah, we have a design. that works. It looks like the engine isn't complete.
Well, yeah, you had that render on that presentation. It just looked like literally like a
looks
first
like it's
attempt
missing
at mocking
parts.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually just the secondary circuits and integral cooling are part of each part. So, so if you have a secondary cooling circuit, you run the secondary cooling circuit or secondary flow circuit through the various parts.
Right.
And we also eliminate a whole bunch of bolted and welded joints.
Wow.
So, especially the bolted joints, you really want to get rid of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, bolts and flanges and seals are hell, especially if they're hot. So yeah, the next gen Raptor engine is actually a little difficult to service because there are parts that don't have a flange anymore. It's just welded shut.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're just hoping to be able to get the design up to be so reliable, hopefully, that
you
just don't need to
If
service
you
it
need
as
to change
often?
a part, you need to literally cut it open.
Wow. So you'll probably, at this point, you might as well just like swap out the whole engine, I assume, and just...
No, we can cut it open.
Yeah?
Yeah. We can cut it open. So,
Just
but
crazy.
I mean, there's a massive bolted flange for the hot gas manifold that's transferring hot gas from the fuel-rich hot gas from the fuel pump side.
Yeah.
You can see that. It's well, it's hard to point at because it's up in the air, but the thing that joins the fuel
the fuel
turbo pump to the aux turbo pump.
Yeah, the kind of band-looking thing.
Yeah,
right?
the band-looking thing. That has a monster flange at the top and bottom, and you want to get rid of those two.
And that's to hold a lot of pressure. Hot.
That's a whole lot of pressure.
Hot pressure.
Yes.
Jeez.
I mean, you can see there's a lot of flanges here. I mean, this valve is like, this pump is like made of flanges.
Wow.
Flange.
And
I mean, these are beast level flanges.
and these are all so there is no like active cooling inside of two like this, or the current version of Raptor like this. There's no
Current version does not have. There's no. Well, there technically is some, but there's not. The current version of Raptor does not have sufficient cooling to be able to resist being in hot gas plasma, like hot plasma. It's not. It would melt.
That's still why I need the shield here.
Yeah,
then.
that's why it's heavily shielded. But the next gen, a bunch of the flanges you see here will disappear, and it will have integral cooling and integral secondary flow circuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys look? Is it possible to do?
There's a whole bunch of engines down there. Pretty densely packed.
it's
It's a lot of thrust.
a lot of thrust. That is crazy. It looks like when you go to a Christmas tree store or something.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Each one of these is the most advanced rocket engine ever made.
And they're just being cranked out like it's nothing.
Yeah. Super high pressure, high efficiency. You got a full flow stage combustion.
All the
It's
goods.
insane. Yeah.
Has there ever been any look into, like, I know, with aircraft turbines, you can do, like some kind of cooling on the actual turbine blades. Is there any way to do any kind of cooling on the turbine blades and Raptor?
We've had that discussion many times. We probably head back into the and see the main factory.